So the money barons, who I'm talking about right now, the people that got the wealth and the money, they still sending that money to the Pope. They still in cahoots with the Pope because they get their military might from the papacy. You didn't know that Rome had an army? Yeah. You thought all those Knights of Templars and the Crusaders, you thought all of them died out? You thought that was just over with? No. Yes, Rome has an army, a wealthy army. So when people want, I'm drifting. I don't want to get off of this subject too much, but to God be the glory. For example, the money barons are on both sides of every war. They foment wars, right? They instigate wars, they start wars, and then they play both sides of the war. So, what do I mean? Real quick, let me put this book to the side. What do I mean? You need your weapon supplies from somebody. You're not you own a country, or you a part of a country, you head of a state somewhere, but you're getting your weaponry from someone else, right? You don't make guns, you just run the country. You don't make bombs, you just run the country. You don't make bullets and things like that, you just run the country. So when they instigate or foment the war, just basically going to this place and saying, yo, yeah, and getting this person all fired up to want to go to war with you, and then coming over here like, yo, guess what I heard, right? And then they get these two people in disagreement with each other and ready to go to war, and then when they get to war, they got to get all their weaponry from them. So you got to get your weapons from the people that started the war. You got to get all your bombs and missiles and aircraft and stuff from the banks, from the people that got the money to front your war, to pay for your war. But they're going to pay for your war with a percentage, right? Nothing's free. The word of God is free. War is not free. War is one of the areas of human activity that the devil's children have gotten over you in. So to keep you inferior, they instigate wars. To keep you inferior, they're going to start wars. Guess what? When they start wars, they get to purge. So now they start the war. They're on both sides of the war, so they're getting money from both sides of the war. They're getting money from this country because I'm going to front you or give you all these weapons, and I'm going to need X, Y, and Z in return. And then they go to the other country and do the same thing. I'm going to need X, Y, Z in return. There are many books about this. These are all documented facts. So I'm going to need X, Y, Z in return. And then, in some of these wars, I get to draft. I get to draft all of them Negroes that thought they was about to be free. All of them Negroes that thought they was about to be on their way to college, or on their way to better living, or finally got Jim Crow off their backs. Just a little bit. Done worked all this time just to finally get a little bit of land or a little crib, or finally got they one room shack with their wife, and they finally in there starting their little family. But guess what? Now we're going to draft you out of here. And because you are considered 3/5 of a human, because you really have no rights, the law was not for you, it's for you. What do I mean? The law is not on your side. The law has never been on your side. I don't got enough time. They got documentaries for that. So they draft you into the war. And then they take your daddies out there. They wasn't drafting women. Pay attention to details. They wasn't drafting women. No. They drafted your daddy. They drafted your uncle. And they sent them out there to be a Manchurian candidate. And we don't really know how many of them actually seen action or actually seen war. But we know the majority of them came back with a dope habit. They shot them somewhere. Told them they was in the jungle. And gave them dope. Heroin. Sent them back over here with a drug habit that they couldn't get rid of. Couldn't go cold turkey on. And all of this because the devil's children are dealing wisely with you.